Summer's here and it's hot. Matter of fact, it's 95 degrees right now. It's summer hot. Forgot my hat. My eyes are burning. The sweat's rolling down on my eyes. It's summer. So you see, this barricade's been here for about 2 months. They're in the process of redoing this whole trail. And if I were to have gone across here and run somewhere I wasn't supposed to run, I'd say it's about 2 miles. But I'm not gonna say I broke the law. God, my eyes are still burning. Okay, so let's talk about running in the summer heat. Now yesterday this video started and I was out on the trail and it was 5:45 in the evening and it was hot. Not the most optimum time to run at all. But I did keep in mind that it was my short run day and it wasn't a long run day, so that makes a difference. So as most of you know that have been following my journey and watching my videos, that I accomplished my first marathon in 2018. And now I'm currently training for my second marathon, which will be in New York City this November. Now most marathons find themselves scheduling towards the end of the year or the beginning of the following year, which puts most people training in the dead heat of the summer for their marathon. Not an easy task, but there's some key components that I keep in mind that you probably already know and follow yourself, but these are things that I do that help me with all of my trainings. Okay, so let's talk about hydration. Now hydration seems like it'd be the most basic, simple, elementary topic that anybody could discuss when talking about running. Because everybody knows that when you go running, you get hot and you get thirsty and you need water. So what did I do? I went out and bought me a Camelback. Holds about 1.5 liters of water. It's got zipper pouches on there to put your phone, wallet, keys, whatever you want to put in there. I was going to be running, so to me this was a must-have tool. And it still is. It's a great tool. But it went further than that because I realized that I wasn't making my long runs. I wasn't finishing them. I was cramping. I was having adverse side effects to running. The heat was affecting me. I didn't get it. So I reached out to some people that had been down this road before, and I did some research on the internet, and I quickly realized I wasn't properly hydrating myself before the run. Not an hour before the run, but a day before the run, or 2 days before the run. Before, I was carrying on my same routine, drinking sodas, horrible diet, and I was like, okay, well, tomorrow I'm just gonna go run. Well, what you put in your body the day before will seriously affect how you're gonna run the next day. So I changed all that, and it made all the difference in the world. Okay, so sticking with the hydration subject for just a couple more things that made a huge difference for me, big impact on my training. Number one was just a simple multivitamin. Now, even if you're not a runner and you don't exercise, taking a multivitamin and incorporating that into your diet will give you energy levels like you didn't even know that you had. It was a big game changer for me. But even more so than the multivitamin was as I was getting into my long runs of 10 miles and 12 miles, I realized there wasn't enough water I could take on the day before and during my run to even allow me to finish. And I was getting really, really frustrated that I could not finish those long runs. If I couldn't finish those long runs, how was I going to finish a marathon? So I reached out to somebody that had been down this road before, and they sent me a bottle of salt stick caps. Okay? Well, what is this? Well, they're buffered electrolyte salts. Okay, what do? They reduce your heat stress, reduce muscle cramping,
and they maintain your electrolyte levels. What did I have to lose? So I took one, I read the directions, I took one about an hour before I ran. I took one when I started running, and I took them every hour after I started running. Game changer. I was able to start finishing my runs. Made all the difference in the world. It maintained my fluid levels as I was running. So as I prepared myself the day before, and during my run, these little caps maintained all those fluid levels. If you don't have fluid and you don't have hydration, I promise you, you're not going to finish your runs. Let's talk about running in the heat. You got 3 basic options. You can either run early in the morning, which is your coolest time of the day, or you can run in the evenings, which is a little bit warmer than your morning runs, or you can say, I'm running in the flat out hottest time of the day, right in the middle of the day. Now, if that's your only option and that's your option you choose, I'd probably keep those runs short runs. If you're trying to squeeze in a long run right in the middle of the day, you're probably going to end your day pretty frustrated and unsuccessful. So let me tell you a story. Last year I went to Dubai on vacation, probably the hottest country on this planet. At least I'm convinced of that. And I learned that the hard way. So I had about an 8-mile run scheduled. No big deal. Filled up my Camelback, went off on my way. At about mile 5 or 6, I started feeling myself getting really dehydrated. Part of that was I was completely out of water from my Camelback. But I kept pushing myself until I literally couldn't go any further. I found a park bench, laid down on it. I was at the point where I was almost about to call 911. I didn't have my wallet with me. I couldn't go into a store or get any water. I was seriously dehydrated. The heat was absolutely brutal. So as I was laying there and I sat up for a minute and I looked over and I saw a golf cart and it said police on it. And I was looking at it and I noticed that there was a big igloo cooler sitting on that golf cart. And I thought, oh my gosh, please be water on that. So I'm looking around, there's no cop in sight. The last thing I wanted to do was get in trouble in a foreign country. So I snuck over there and I literally filled up his whole cooler into my Camelback and I drained him dry on his water. Horrible, but I felt like I was on a desolate island. And I was willing to do anything at that point. And as soon as I got water, I just started taking it in. I was sick to my stomach. I was just feeling horrible. It was probably the worst experience of my life. So all that to say, if you're not properly hydrated and you're running at the wrong time of the day, that's an extreme example, but it can happen anywhere. So be careful, protect yourself, do the right measures so that you can be successful in your runs. Another important thing to keep in mind while training and working out in the hot summer months is monitoring and tracking your heart rate. Now, I do it with an iWatch, you can do it with a Fitbit or a Garmin. There's a lot of tools out there to help you do this. But what I do is I take 220 minus my age, which is 44, and I get 176. So 176 is the top line that I want to see my heart rate at during any exercise or any run. So if I look down and I'm at about 175, 176, it may be time to take a break or slow down your pace because the last thing you want to do is overwork your heart. So after all that, if you realize that summer is still too difficult to run in or you have to do a run right in the middle of the day, just remember there's alternatives out there. You can ride a bike, you can walk, you can do water aerobics. There's plenty of other exercises that will keep your heart rate pumping and your heart rate moving to help you cross-train for your marathon. So lastly, I just wanted to touch base on a couple of things. I really didn't want this to be a long video, and I don't know how long it's going to be because I haven't edited it yet. But I just wanted to say thank you to my subscribers and the people that are still continuing to comment and tell me about their journey or encourage me as well. Just this week, a guy sent me a message and said that him and his wife are training for their first marathon. Another guy said that he was thinking about doing a marathon. So to all of you that are out there and you're either on the journey or you're thinking about a journey or it's not even a thought in your mind, I encourage you to go do you. And if this is right for you, I promise you can do it. So real quick, I wanted to touch base on a couple people that have really stood out to me here lately. And one of those is an old college friend of mine. We probably haven't seen each other in over 20 years. We've been friends on Facebook, but we haven't really caught up. But he saw that I ran a marathon last year, and he's been on that same track. He ran his first half marathon, I think, last year or the beginning of this year, and now he's training for his first marathon. We've gone back and forth on Facebook and sending each other messages and trying to encourage each other. He's telling me the obstacles he's dealing with, and I'm trying to help him as much as possible. I know you can do it, Alan. His name's Alan Craig. Great guy, great heart. Man, I wish you the best, and I know you can do it. Just keep going, man. So the second person I want to mention is a guy by the name of Josh Armstrong. I think he lives up in Seattle or somewhere up north. I'm not sure on that. But this guy has a story. I thought I had a story, but this guy truly has a story. He lost over 100 pounds in 2018. He's already accomplished his first half marathon, and he's training right now for his first marathon that'll be in Chicago this year. Great story. You guys need to go check him out. And I think it's Josh Runs a Marathon. I'll put his link up in the description, or at the end I'll put a little tag to get to him. So all of these stories have been amazing to me. I've watched so many people, and I'm starting to follow a bunch of people that are sharing the same story. So if you want to hear more of this, like and subscribe. I appreciate you being here.